used to compete. And then she now is the director of the local pageant out of Springfield Branson.
Mm-hmm.
And when her teen actually won Miss Missouri, so her girl was, at Miss America teen. So anyway,
That's
all to
so cool.
say that we had to go.
That is very cool. And then I caught you standing up. So if you need to do something before we started this meeting,
I need a straw for my coffee.
You go get it, girl. I know. I'm like, dang it. I just ran my mouth one too many times there. She's supposed to be leading this call, making it difficult.
I don't think she is.
Oh, she's not leading today?
No.
See, that's what I get when I assume.
Yeah, Mickey Brandis is supposed to be leading, so I think I'm leading. The couple times Mickey has led, she likes to she likes to be here, but I think she's busy today. I haven't heard, so she might join us, but she might not. I'm prepared. Either
Always.
Way. Should I text her?
Oh, she would probably have a cow.
I won't do that to her. I don't want to do that to her. I don't want to send her into a tizzy at 10 a.m.
Right? That probably would just send her right over the edge.
I do want her to honor her commitments, though.
She can do it. She just gets really nervous. But I'm sure everybody can relate.
Yeah. I used to get nervous when I first got in this business, and I did Bold. It took me like a year to save up so I could go to Bold, but I was so nervous to even stand up, and I'm like, I'm Ryan Finn and I'm Bold. I could even say that in front of everybody. I was like, I don't know, what if I mess it up? I'm like, it's your name, stupid. Stand up and say your name and say you're Bold. It's okay. And it took me a while to get there. And then even talking in team meeting was tough for a while, like, oh, what if I say something stupid? That's going to happen, by the way. Or what if you fumble your words? That's going to happen also. So just get over yourself and just do the thing. And you just do it over and over again. And then the next thing you know, you're standing in front of 700 people, and then you're nervous again. You're like, it's the same thing as 25. There's just a few more ears in the room. So,
I'd rather talk. I've had to do a lot of public speaking, and I'd rather do like talking in front of 2,000 people. I usually had a script. Didn't bother me at all. I could stand up on a big stage, talk to a whole gallery of people. Put me in with 5 people, though, you get a lot more anxiety about that, especially people that know you. And it's a weird phenomenon, at least for me. I usually can talk about anywhere, but
you do well. Yeah. Do you just feel like they're going to ask you questions you may not know, or do you just feel more judged because they know you, or what do you feel like that
I don't
is?
know what it is. When I was a professor, and what I taught were teachers to be teachers, that when I was a professor, the students would be so anxious presenting to their classmates, but when they were in front of their class or the students they were going to teach, they were fine. But when they were with their peers, they just were almost overwhelmed by anxiety. So I had a friend in the psychology department that does a lot of research on this, tried using AI to desensitize and virtual things and all of that. And it's just a strange phenomenon when you're with peers versus people you don't know, or people that expect you to know more, like students to teachers. It's just a strange phenomenon, though.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's so weird that it's so universal.
I can't wait for you to teach your first class here.
Yeah. I have lots of little video clips. I love a funny video.
All right. Well, it's 10:03. I was hoping we get a few more. I bet we will get a few more. I would like to encourage any and all that are able to turn on your camera. I would love to see your face. And we can talk to black screens. That's fine. I'm glad you're here no matter what. And I know some of you cannot turn on your screens because you're at work or wherever you might be. But if you can turn on your camera, I encourage you to do so.
Except for Darren. Don't turn on your camera, Darren, please.
Even Darren. We need Darren. We like Darren. Love you, Darren. All right. We got Zoom user that just joined us. Hey, I've tried to join I was on Zoom from my phone last week, and it's a whole nother experience. I don't enjoy it as much. I know it came in clutch for me because I wasn't able to get to a computer, but it's a whole nother experience on your phone. So I get that. Maybe you don't know how to turn it on. I get that. Don't know how to rename yourself. I get that. But let's go ahead and jump in. We'll get started. I do want to encourage, thanks, Nathan. Hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Yes. I don't remember what I was saying. I really want lots of participation, and I don't want this to just be me talking. I get to hear myself enough. I use all my words every day. I never have any left in the tank at the end of the day. So I would love to save some of my words and hear from you, but I have got some topics, and I know this is, I don't know, did anybody else just wake up with a heavy heart? Just lots going on. It's heavy. There's a lot of heavy stuff right now. It's 9/11. So we've got the 9/11 stuff going on, and you know that all happened, what, 24 years ago? But it's still obviously something super heavy. And then we've got the Charlie Kirk tragedy yesterday, and I know I heard about that from my college kids. They're the ones that texted us. My college kids heard about it first. So trying to help them navigate through just heavy stuff. And just want to check in real quick and just see, how are we doing? How are we feeling this morning? What do you guys think?
Well, it's the war between good and evil right now. And we have to keep a good positive attitude despite it, knowing that the outcome will be good. But right now it's pretty hard to look at that, when you see how many lives it affected.
Yeah, yeah, and I definitely am. My intention, of course, is not to make it this political in any way. I just know I want to address it, and because it's real and it's here. Wherever you land on the political, side of things, that's not what this is about. This is about humanity. This is about life. This is about our nation. This is about patriotism, and it affects us, and it affects our clients. And I think just taking some time to have some space to feel what you feel, think what you think, and support those around us. We're all in this together. This isn't the first time something tragic has hit our nation. Obviously 9/11 was massively tragic, and just, navigating through it ourselves, but then, helping those around us, whether they're agents, whether they're clients, whether they're family, friends, neighbors, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know what I'm, just wanted to acknowledge it. I think more than anything, we don't need to jump into it unless somebody has some, some input or thoughts on what you're doing. But otherwise,
We just
we
have
can
to
move on.
continue to be lights no matter what. We just have to be light in giving people hope, giving them a dream, giving them the things that they desire in their life, and not focus on the hardships.
Right. And there's always an opportunity in every situation. There's an opportunity. And if we will look for the opportunities, whether it's just to extend a kind word, a smile, just a hug, that's definitely something we can do in this moment. So, all right,
Brandy,
let's move on.
Can I say something
Yeah,
quickly?
yes, of course. Yes, you can.
And I won't go into the a million emotions and thoughts that I think we process during high school shootings, Charlie Kirk, all the things. There's just been a lot. And I know some of us do process with children and young adults, but even our own processing. And I think I started just writing down kind of my thoughts. And I think as you have your personal feelings, you have your faith-based feelings, you have your nation feelings, you have a lot of them. But even in business, there were some people I just shot out a text to going, hey, there's a lot happening. So just know that I love being your realtor, but I also love being your friend. Let me know if you just need a place to chat. And I've had several of them actually respond, so I think it gives us an opportunity to be real and not just be business. that we get to be people, and I think very human people during this time. Um, and I think the other thought is just that, you can't have followed Charlie Kirk at all and not contemplate that that man knew his purpose. And it's a great way for us to kind of retrospect. Do we know our purpose? I mean, he knew his one thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Trisha. Thanks for those thoughts. It's a lot for us to navigate. And then if we've got kids or, young ones or whatever, that just adds a whole nother level and a dimension of, we'll figure it out. We'll get through it like we always do. And, this is one of those history making things, and as is, all the, like you mentioned, all the things that are going on. It's not just this one thing, it's all the things. So, but here we are. I do believe that, my personal belief is that we are placed in this time in history on purpose. And, we have, it wasn't by accident. So, I look at this and go, okay, I believe we were made for this in some way, made to lead, made to grow, made to, bring healing, unity, we have a part to play in this. I'm just, don't always know what it is until you kind of stumble into it. But all right, let me ask you this. I am going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm bold. Bold is coming up in less than 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. And I'd like to see, I know we've got about 8 people from our office that have signed up to say, hey, I'm in. Who else? Who else needs to be in bold? Does everybody know what bold is? We had anybody that doesn't know what bold is?
No, my audio's on.
Okay. That's exactly the response I expected. So appreciate that. But let me ask you this. Tim's going to bold. Who else? I got Laura going to bold. Who else is on here? Stacy. Yeah, thank you. Stacy's going to bold. All right. So if you're not going to bold, obviously it is optional. We're not going to come and drag you out of the house and take you there. So my question to you is, if you're not going to do bold, which is okay, I'd like to hear, what are you going to do? What activities, what thought processes, what are you going to do so that you make sure that you end this year strong? So that you have a great Q4, which leads into a great Q1 of next year. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are for if you're not going to do bold, okay, what is your strategy? What are you going to do?
I'll be transparent. I haven't done very good at even looking at the dates of bold, so I need to pull it up. I just knew that when I initially looked, I was actually going to be gone for 3 of them, and so I just panicked of like, do you go for 3 and not for 3? Maybe, I don't know.
They're on Wednesdays. They start September 24th. It's for 6 Wednesdays in a row, and it ends at the end of October. So everything will be done with bold by October 29th. So,
But is it okay if we're going to miss some, or do you just go, Trisha, you're going to be gone for the wrong reasons and you're not going to make it?
well, that's kind of probably a personal decision, because you're going to pay full price whether you go 6 weeks or 3 weeks. And if so I would say that's a personal decision to make. However, if that's the case and you don't go to bold, that's okay. Can't make it, doesn't work with your schedule. So I would just ask you, just as your team leader, as your cheerleader, your coach here, to say and I'm not just singling you out. I appreciate your
No, that's okay.
transparency and your bravery to unmute yourself and talk. What are you, or us collectively, what are we going to do that's going to keep us on track to finish 2025 on a high note, on a win? What do you think, Trisha? If you can't make it to bold, which is again totally fine.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I'm working on it, because I think I can only miss 2, which then might make it worth it. However, I think my processing was, I need to go back and get my bold from last year, because they gave us so much, and I am a over note taker in those situations. And I feel very confident there's so many things that I may have started and didn't finish. or that I could restart, or that I never even attempted, because I was like, if I can do these one or two things, then I can't even deal with all this. So I probably need to just go back and go, I'm going to commit that I'm going to time block X amount of hours in each week for my 8 weeks, and actually go back through the bold that I have. Because there's so much. And I remember going, I'm just going to try to take out a few things and master a few, which I'm sure I didn't. And then probably need to correct that, but then pick up something that I chose that I can't focus on that right now, and do it again.
And you bring up a great point. And Ryan, I would like to get your thought on this. Like, because you've been to Bold, you've been to Family Reunion, Mega Camp, you've been to all those things, and it's true. It's like drinking from a fire hose. They give, and it's all good stuff. So what's your strategy after Bold or Family Reunion or Mega Camp to come back? There's more stuff that you picked up than you could ever implement. So how do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, so the fire hose thing is a real deal with Bold, and it's very intense for the 6 or 8 weeks that we used to do it, or do 6 weeks now. And so it's difficult. I look at and I've been to Bold, like 14 times or whatever it is. And I think it's kind of like just like our elementary school to middle school to high school, you kind of keep elevating the level of intensity of the amount of information, and your ability to retain and stack on from what you learned prior allows you to go further every time you do go back. I think the key thing is the focus on read the MREA again. I'll tell you that. But do the things, the most simple things. And so while we're doing that, here's this little form right here. If I didn't go to Bold, I'd get this little bad boy out every day and start working on that. And whether it's do the 2 or do the 8, whatever it is in your business, do that piece. If I don't make it to Bold, I'm also guilty of not coming to Bold. I have another trip, and I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks, and I don't want to miss a third of the class because of a trip. So that's on me, that I had it scheduled already, and I didn't know when Bold was. But at the same time, I know Bold's going to be in the fall. I would absolutely love to go to this one, but I'm going to tap out and not be there. But because I am not there, I do have a plan with my coach, and I do have a plan, and I've got another meeting with Brandy as well to help me out. And I'm going to continue to work on my database this fall. Great time to reconnect with people, and just let them know that we are here to help them and consult with them should they need any help with real estate related matters.
Hey, I like it. So Trisha, she mentioned going back to kind of some things she's already learned that she maybe hasn't implemented yet, time blocking, that kind of stuff. Ryan's going to do the 2 and get with his coach, get with his team leader. So I love these strategies. Anybody else? What are you doing to make sure we stay or keep our eye on the ball, and we cannot just coast and hope is not a strategy, right? We can't just hope it's a great end of the year. So, yep, Lonnie.
A couple things I think that are interesting. Again, with Bold, it's not about going to Bold. It's about what you just said, is having some kind of plan. I don't care what that plan is. If that plan is do the 2, if that plan is I'm going to spend 2 hours a day in the market center grinding, whatever that is, let's just get it done. As a market center operating partner, Bold actually ends up costing us, we invest about $10,000 to $12,000 into it. And you're like, man, that's a lot. And that is a lot. It's more than our rent. But we firmly believe that over time, that ends up paying off. So it's the biggest expense we have all year outside of rent and salaries. But it's just one of those things we dive into our people. Half our people in Bold end up getting all their money back. And guess where it comes from? It comes from us. So, sometimes people are like, hey, the market center is really pushing this. Understand, we're pushing it and writing a big check to do it. So we have to believe. And some people will get a lot out of it. Some will get just a few nuggets. Some will engage at the highest level. Some won't. It's just how everything works in life. But when we see an activity like Bold or any of those classes, the key is time on task over time and the repetition. There's a reason successful agents have been there 5 times, 6 times. Sandy, Ryan, I could go on and on, have been 10 times and above, I believe. And Annette's probably pushing that. It's just you're in a different place each time an education comes to you, whether that's bold or something different. So I'm also traveling, so I'll be gone for 2 of those weeks for sure, and possibly a third. But I'm going to go to First Step. So if I haven't signed up for that, be sure I go to First Step. I want to. This gal's sharp. I want to meet her and kind of hear her. So you get a free day no matter what. So I'm in on that. But for me, it's getting back to some basics. One is doing the two. Ryan and I met yesterday. There's a do the two sheet on my desk. There's one from last week that's filled out. So at the end of the day, I'm getting back into the key people in my database and being sure I'm advancing those relationships. The class I'm teaching next Wednesday, just to reiterate, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It is normally the time we have for our wealth building group, and it's still our wealth building group plus anybody in the market center that wants to RSVP and go. And we are going to talk about how to create more income through the relationships that we have and being really honest and real. Not all of us have 200 people. Not all of us have 40 amazing studs in that group. But what do we have? Let's assess it and be honest, and then let's figure out how to fill that bucket and make it sing. When it sings, it can be extremely profitable. Our top agents, whether they do it consciously or not, and I'll go Scott Swaggart and Nathan Priest and Ryan Finn and so on and so forth, they really do all the things and have all the things in place that we'll be discussing. Whether they have it in the manner that we're going to be discussing, is a different story. But I'm gonna take it at the most basic level, and then we'll finish that class off with how, now that we know this should be the priority in our real estate life, how are we going to attend to it? And then when we get it going and it does start to spit out cash, how do we handle that cash? For the wealth building group, it's important to me that we're thinking, how do we increase our take home income so we would at least have the opportunity to invest should we choose to do that? So, and we'll go through a couple examples there. But anyway, I just wanted to share that, Brandy.
No, I appreciate it. I really, really do. So yeah, let me know. I appreciate Lonnie bringing that up. If you do want to go to First Step of Bold, you can go for free. They let you come, they'll feed you lunch, they'll feed you breakfast. You get to attend a whole first session, the whole day for free, and before you commit to the whole thing. So let me know. I'll get you signed up for that. If you want to commit to full Bold and say, you know what, it's worth the investment, $800. Would you trade, if it brought you one deal, one extra deal at an average commission of $8,000, would you trade a $800 investment for an $8,000 commission check? And that's if you do one transaction extra because of Bold. And of course, we hope that it's not about just, of course, we want to, have a return on our investment. We're good business people. But it's also about getting into the flow, getting momentum. So it's not just one transaction. It sets you on the path to creating the business that you want. Tim, do you have any thoughts about that before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, I love just like the business management side of Bold. Again, I shared a little bit the other day on Tuesday about the mindset piece part of it. Because I am personally someone who likes to fly by the seat of my pants. Like, I like to shoot from a hip. I don't like following a schedule. I don't like being structured, and yet that's also my biggest limiting factor, right? That's the thing that keeps me from achieving a higher level of success is not having strategy and not having focus. And so for me, I because I missed last year's Bold, I mean, I really felt it in my business, but more so, I just felt like all year and hard, like excited old coach because she just seems on point. I've only talked to her a couple times so far. Man, she definitely is. And I know that she's going to attract a lot of high level agents in our area. And I need that mental reset. And I have to for my business and life just to get refocused. One of you knowledge, level of knowledge or different skill set. The quote, "No man enters the same river twice," because the man is always changing and so is the river. And for me, regardless of who the coach is, I'm going to pick up something new on top of the reiteration of habits that I need to be in my daily business and my daily life anyway. So yeah, super pumped about it. I mean, I cannot wait. Some of the things that people said, if they're not going to go to Bold, what are they going to do? I can promise you right now, I can burn up 9 a.m. when's bold end? Like, I think it's 2:30, 9 to 2:30. I can burn up 9 to 2:30 and get absolutely nothing accomplished. So for me to take one day a week, and it's not even a full day, it's barely a half a day. I mean, it's going to impact my winter and my first quarter next year in such a huge way. Like, I'm pumped. I'm ready for it.
Awesome. Me too. Me too. And I appreciate what Lonnie said. This is not something that we make money on, guys. We invest. We believe in doing this. We don't have to participate in Bold, but we choose to as a market center because we believe in it and we've seen the results of it, and we care about you enough to bring this opportunity to you every fall. So when other market centers do not do this, yeah, we're different. Absolutely, Ryan. 100%. And so if you think, man, just back off of it, stop with the bold stuff, stop shoving it down our throats. It's only because we care. It's only because we want the best for you and your business. And I could say that with a straight face and a clean heart, that is absolutely true. So, all right. So if you don't know, if you want to go to first step, if you want to go to the full bold, talk to me, talk to Tim, talk to Caesar. We'll get you in. And if you are not going to bold, but you want to sit with me, like I reached out to Lonnie on, I don't know, I think it was Tuesday. And I said, hey, Lonnie, I'm going to commit to do the 2 on top of bold. I'm going to bold. I'm going to commit to do the 2, and I'm committing to turn in my do the 2 sheet filled out to him every week as that piece of accountability to say, I need a kick in the pants sometimes to get going as well. And I'm happy to provide that to you, but I need it as well. So, you know, reach out. I'm here to help in that way. All right. Next question for you, which kind of leads into this, what are you going to do? We are heading into Q4 here real quick. And before we know it, the year's going to be done and over. We all know how fast time goes. So let me ask you this. We're heading into the fall. We're heading into holiday time. So what are the things that you like to do to reach out to your database, to stay connected, stay involved with your database during the fall season, the holiday season? What are some things you like to do that works well for you? How are you staying in touch with your database throughout the rest of the year?
I keep having struggles on unmuting here. I'll speak to that because this is probably I'm more excited about the fourth quarter this year than I've ever been, just because we have a really strong game plan. So the ALC did the Chiefs Stadium or Arrowhead Stadium tour earlier this year, and we just did one on Sunday with some VIP clients. Took 16 clients and did the little tour of Arrowhead. That was a phenomenal event. Like, people raved about it, and it was super inexpensive. I mean, we partnered with one of our lenders, and I think total we might have spent $250 on it, and had snacks so you can tailgate. It was just really a super fun time. And then now we're looking forward to our pie giveaways. So we'll have pie giveaways coming up, which what we do there is last year we did door to door. We literally hand delivered all of them. Was super time consuming. However, like I mentioned earlier, I can burn up 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and get absolutely nothing accomplished. So if I have a map and I'm driving around and I can deliver, 4 pies an hour and I spend an 8-hour day, I mean, that's over 30 pies in one day. I can totally do that. So I spent a couple of days last year and going to do that this year. Also, trunk or treat. I know we haven't really talked about trunk or treat a whole lot in the conversations that I've been in. I assume we're going to do one at the Market Center again. It's always like a big hit. I'm going to be at trunk or treat and invite all of my clients and people just in my database that have kids. So pie giveaway, trunk or treat. And then going into the holidays is just another great opportunity for pop buys. That was something that I got out of the habit of doing, was visiting my clients, even if they're not home, just leaving something on their doorstep and taking a picture of it for them and just texting it to them. Hey, I just swung by your house. I would love it when they're home and I can get a little bit of face-to-face time with them. However, it's just being top of mind for me. That's the whole reason I do pop buys. It's not, doesn't have to be anything expensive. And that's what we're going to do for winter time is zip through and do pop buys, just because sometimes the weather is iffy. Sometimes people's schedules are crazy. So we're doing a quick holiday pop buy and visiting again, VIP. I'm really focusing in. Lonnie has been really big on the VIP pyramid and the top portion of the triangle. And that's where I'm focusing all of my attention. Fourth quarter is that top of that triangle, really making them feel special. If you guys have not read the book, The Thank You Economy, it's a Gary Vaynerchuk book. Thank You Economy is basically coming from gratitude and thanking the people that you're in business with and thanking the people that are in your database on a very personal level. So not doing something super generic, but doing something that's meaningful to them because they remember that. And so that's kind of where we're going. Our holidays pop buys are going to be a little bit more personal. So it's going to be a little bit more time consuming. But again, otherwise, I'll burn up the time and not do anything with it anyway. So it might as well be making pop buys and making touches with those top people. That's what my fourth quarter looks like.
Love it. Awesome, Tim. I look forward to seeing the results from all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
What else? What else are we doing the end of the year? Stay in touch with our database. Nobody else is going to stay in touch with them. I'll stay in touch with them.
Brandy, I'll jump in. Last year was our trial run out at our new property. We had no idea what we were doing. We're farmer-ish, and we planted pumpkins out there, and we had no idea if they would even grow or not. Turns out they did all right. We didn't get much rain, but this year we're season 2. We think we got a thing or two figured out. So we got about a half acre of them planted, and so we're going to invite a bunch of our clients to come out. We'll do like a bonfire weenie roast thing, and they can bring the kids and pick pumpkins and decorate their front porches or carve jack-o'-lanterns with them, whatever they want to do. Just an opportunity to have them out and just reconnect on a social level with them outside of work, maybe when they're not in a super big rush. And if they stay for 20 minutes, cool. If they stay for an hour, that's fine too. So I just thought that would be a neat idea. To be able, we should have several hundred pumpkins out there. So we're hoping that will work, and a great opportunity, just like Tim was saying, face-to-face is the best way and opportunity to get a referral. And then I like a little leverage. So that's where I wanted to do this activity to get them to come to me. And then that way I can make those connections quick and be more efficient with my amount of contacts. May not be as personal because it may not be one-on-one, and you may have to work the room essentially as you're talking to people. However, highly effective when you can get them to come to you, almost like a reverse Bold 100.
Awesome.
That sounds
Love that.
fun. I had an idea this morning. I haven't talked to my husband about it yet, but he does competition barbecue. And so he does competitions around the city and then a little further out, like he's going to Miami, Oklahoma. But I was thinking people are always wanting to like know how it's done, or people just, they're surprising. Anybody will talk to you about barbecue, not real estate, but anybody will talk about barbecue. So I was thinking about the next one he's doing that's local, because it's, again, I won't go into the detail of how it's set up or whatever, but I could set up a better kind of space within our space that he's working and invite people from my database, that especially some of my contacts are his contacts because he's very social. And so I think it would not be weird for those men and their wives to come to his thing, but my invitation and my sort of display and setup, and again, to Ryan's part, kind of working that, I think that would be a good way for me to optimize and build on his very big network. And Andy can write the contest off, which would be awesome. But so I was just thinking that this morning. He won't care at all, but I've just got to look at the schedule. So if anybody has any tips or thoughts on that, I would welcome the guidance and feedback. So I think I can get that in this year. We have a few more contests left. So.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring this up, Stacy, is because I know we're, still mid-September, but the year is going to fly, and it's going to go. And so if we can get one event in, because if you guys follow James Shaw at all on his Shift Facebook group, one of the things he says is in a shifting market, events are a must. We've got to be connecting with our people face to face. And I know not everybody in your database is going to come to your event, but hopefully we're on the phone and we're connecting with them. We're calling them, we're inviting them, we're checking in on them, we're making them feel special. And if they don't come, we're making them, let them know we missed you. We'll do this again. And so events are a big thing in a shifting market. But by the way, the market's always shifting. So don't let that freak you out or anything. Like when you hear that, the market is always shifting. And so it's just us learning to ride the wave with the market. And we'll be just fine. But so I do want to make sure we kind of are taking some time, maybe to carve some time out today to sit down in a quiet place and think, I want to map out the rest of this year. And Trisha, I'm kind of with you. Like maybe you pick one thing. What is one thing that if I accomplish that, I'll feel like today was a success, or I'll feel like if I can do this one event. And by the way, guys, they can be small. You could partner with, I know Laura just did one down in Harrisonville at the ice cream shop, at Julie's ice cream shop. That's easy. Julie's got the place decorated super cute. She has amazing ice cream on hand. Laura grabbed a couple vendors and just invited people to come. Talk about leverage. And Laura, I don't know if you're able to unmute, but if you want to tell us how many people came to that, I think it was a smashing success. And Laura did that because of the challenge I issued in July to do the bingo game. And so anyway, she picked up I know she picked up some leads. So anyway, just be thinking about that. Maybe some cold beers, Lonnie. Maybe just take some cold beers around that your pop by. Just put a 6-pack on the porch. I don't know. I'm sure some people would appreciate that. But all right, holiday cards, absolutely. If you like to bake, I'm going to be doing some pumpkin bread. I bought little disposable pans, some ribbon. I'm going to make some, and by the way, you don't have to pop by your whole database. Pick 10, pick 5. You don't have to, that was always my thinking is like, I have too many people. I can't do pop buys. It would take me a week to get by everybody's house. And then I had to get over that. And someone goes, well, why don't you do just 10? I'm like, oh, I could do 10. So anyway. Any more thoughts on any of that before I move on? I want to make sure you guys have time to bring up your stuff too. Okay. We've also got, somebody has to say something.
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
I hear you, Shelby.
Okay. I am going to do the bingo card this month. I've already started on it. Because July I didn't have time between the kids and real estate. So I am focusing on the bingo card heavily. There are some things on there that I just don't want to do, like contacting for sale by owners. I just don't want to deal with those people. So I'm going to replace that with something else that's been on my to-do list that I haven't to-doed. So, but I was really excited about the bingo card. When you handed it over, I was like, there is not any way chance I can get this done, but I can do it in September when those children are in school. So I didn't know if anybody else was kind of doing their own bingo a little later.
I love that, Shelby. I love that. You said, I can't do this in July, but I can do it in September. And you didn't just pitch it in the trash and go, I'm done with that. So Shelby is my inspiration too, Stacy. She's awesome. We're super proud of Shelby.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so a couple other things that are kind of new and hitting our calendar this month are Canva. Did anybody go to the Canva class? Did you learn anything new the other day? What'd you think of the new Canva KW collaboration we got going on? What do we think? Stacy, you were there.
I was thinking I wish I would have done it the day before because I built all my open house flyers manually. And now that it's on, I didn't realize it was integrated on MLS. So yeah, I love the templates because I know we're supposed to brand KW and it's always a struggle trying to figure out the red and the color. So I love that.
Great. Awesome. Well, if you didn't come to the Canva class, we did record it, and I will be doing another one. So jump into Canva, and it will make your marketing look better, and it'll cut your time in at least half, at least. So loving the Canva thing. How about AI? How do we feel about AI, guys? Are we scared of it? Are we excited about it? Are we not so sure about it? What are our thoughts around AI in real estate?
I think it's going to be an incredible tool for us. I feel like every time I learn a little like tip or trick, then I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything. Like the iceberg is so big, and I'm on just like the tip of the iceberg. I definitely like some of the features and tools that we have at our disposal right now. But I just realize how much I have to learn. So I think we have to embrace it. It's not going to go anywhere. And I do feel like it's going to be a tool that's going to make everything easier for us if we know how to effectively utilize it. I'm seeing like I keep getting these ads now. I know that when you search for stuff or you look at things online, like on Google or on social media, then all of the ads start centering around that. And I'm getting a lot more ads for like AI classes and online things that I can attend. And there's a couple of them that I really like. They hit me because it's like, if you're using Chat GPT for this, or if you're using AI for that, you're treating it like it's a little toy instead of a high performance business tool. And usually all of the examples they give, that's what I'm using it for. Like I'm still using it to write my descriptions and utilizing Chat GPT to write a listing description. But even like calendar management, there's some awesome AI plugins for Google Calendar that it will send you a text message. Like I know what we have, like the Google Calendar reminders, but like utilizing those plugins, I just don't understand how they work. So I have a lot that I need to learn, but would make things way more efficient for me. Almost like having a personal assistant to remind me what time I need to leave where I'm at. And I'm seeing even like Apple's, I guess, I don't know if it's Siri or just their AI, but like when I get in my car, when my phone connects with my Bluetooth, it'll show up on the screen in my car, like how long it takes me to get to Southland Partners from where I'm at based on what's on my calendar. Wildly like helpful, right? Because sometimes I'll get in my car and then I want to go, like I just start driving because I'm going to go do something and I forget that I had something on my calendar. Not to get off into the weeds, but I mean, Bold is a perfect example of that, right? Like setting our schedule and sticking to our calendar. And then if you take something off, you got to replace it. And I'm not always great with calendar management. So some of the AI modules and plugins that Google Calendar has, wildly helpful. And I'm just now starting to learn some of the like baby features and how to use them. So I'll have to report back as I get more fluid with them.
Yeah, on that note, I think the AI, it's kind of like you got to have the one thing mindset, because it's kind of like when you go to the big events, there's so many different things that it can do, or that you can learn. And I think you've got to pick one or two things, like maybe it's productivity or calendar management for us ADHD folks. And, maybe you figure out something like that and make that your main goal first, and then expand, because you can do all kinds of stuff with it, but you can also just wear yourself out and get nowhere if you try to do it all. So
Agreed. I used it yesterday to create a newsletter to send out to my database. I just got on ChatGPT. I told it what I wanted. I told it what I wanted it to look like, what I wanted it to include, what I wanted it to find, all the things, and it gave me a newsletter. Now, I'm going to have to make it pretty because that's what I do. And I'm going to make it look, I'm going to sharpen up the look of it, but I like the content. And it took ChatGPT, it took it 3 minutes to do it. 3 minutes to pull together this newsletter. So, and I can tell it to do that for me every month. Maybe the 10th of every month, I want my newsletter created, and it will do that. So I'm still learning too. I'm still, I'll probably always be learning. I'm definitely for a while be learning, but I'm excited about that because I've done newsletters before and they take me days to pull together, because I don't sit down. I don't have just a dedicated time to spend hours on it, nor do I want to spend hours on it. But I do want a newsletter to go out. I like that. I like reading other people's newsletters. So anyway, that's kind of cool. So I'm excited. Come to AI class on Monday. Caesar's teaching that here at in the Market Center. All right. We have about 15 minutes left. Let's mastermind with you guys. What do you have going on that you need agents to chime in on? What have you got going on in your world that you need help with?
I'll throw something out there, Brandy.
Yeah.
Shelby and I were discussing, she had a conversation with a local broker who just out of the blue said, hey, would your sellers entertain an owner finance? And we don't talk about owner finance very much. There's not a lot of that done. But I think people need to at least understand what it is, how it operates, what the variables might be to consider it, whether it's good for your client or not. But just a couple bullet points to think about, and maybe we'll dive on this a little deeper at a team meeting. But generally speaking, it needs to be a property that has no mortgage debt on it. So in other words, it's free and clear. Then from there, you have to have a seller that's okay with becoming a banker, because essentially $700,000 property, people putting $200,000 down, payment's going to be X amount of dollars per month. They're carrying the note for 1 or 2 or 3 years. All these things, they become the bank at that point. Now, these are recorded with title insurance, recorded notes and deeds of trust, just like a bank would. It goes through the title company and all that. So they essentially become Country Club Bank or whomever. So I think let's be sure that we at least understand the terminology. Now, if somebody has an FHA loan on their house and they have a little bit of equity and somebody says we own or finance, they really can't. There's contract for deeds and all these kind of semi-marginal type things that can be done, but we want to stay out of those arenas. But get yourself a little bit informed, especially if you get in a situation where you either have a buyer looking at a property that's free and clear, or you have a seller that maybe that's going to be a good solution for them. If you have a seller that needs all their money right away, owner finance is not going to get that done, right? And so we got a lot of different variables here. Shelby and I had a great chat. We hit some of the bullet points of what questions to ask the agent that's asking us, would we consider an owner finance? Much like contingency, there is no automatic yes or no. The question is just knowing the key is knowing what questions to ask. And then first and foremost, is your seller even in the arena to consider something like that? Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to share an idea if I could. I've got a house, should be on the market next week here, just up the road from us off Double Y. It's on about 3 acres, tons of updates throughout. Like he's finishing both bathrooms, updating them right now. And I thought it's vacant. They've already moved out. Thought about the idea of offering the office folks who want to come out and shoot videos or do their own little marketing for it. If need be, if wanted, Josh and I could talk about some tripods or microphones, things like that that could be used for video. I don't know if there'd be an interest. I know we've also got a small group at the office here, but I don't know if anybody thinks that'd be something you might participate in. If not, that's okay.
Yeah. I like the idea, Paul. I'm probably not available for that, but I think it could be something really effective, especially for our agents that maybe don't have listings. They have something they can market directly and learn a little bit from you guys in doing that.
Yeah, I was talking to agents down at our Tom Ferry thing, and they'll have other agents come out and they'll have a day where it's kind of like the agent open house basically, but they could all go around, shoot their live videos or shoot reels or do whatever, talking about the house. And we got enough people, we could probably find our own buyers even better if we're doing this within the office. And I just want to throw the idea out there. If there's anybody who might be interested, shoot me a text or let me know. We'll figure something out next week. So thanks.
I would love to see, I love the opportunity, Paul, because I would like to see more of our agents doing videos. We've been talking about videos for a while, and everything we're learning about AI is that videos are still the way to go. They're still the avenue we need to be pursuing, because you can make one video. Now, I'm not plugging AI too much, but you can make a video. You can plug it in with AI. They can trim it into smaller videos. You can have a reel. You can have a YouTube video. You can have a Facebook video. It can turn one big video into smaller thing. Anyway, that's down the road, but what we're hearing is if you want to be positioned as the agent who knows what, it's going to be through video. It's not, what is it? Google SEO. That's search engine optimization is going away, not going away, but it's not the big thing anymore. AI has another system for that, and video is so important. So I'd say
You don't have to. Oh, go ahead.
no, you go, Paul.
I was gonna say you don't have to be on camera and be laying on the floor and cracking jokes like Josh. You can do a voiceover afterwards describing the house. You don't have to be on camera at all if you don't want to. So there's so many different angles to approach it. And it's a minute, if you will do a reel, or longer if you do a live on Facebook or Instagram. So I get over that fear, and you will maybe find an opportunity to help you get some clients. So just
Absolutely.
So
I love it. I love it. What else? What else we got? I have something. I have a new agent. We have a newer agent, and she's selling her personal house. So if you can imagine a newer agent, she's the listing agent and she's the seller. She's wearing both hats. And you know how that can be a little bit crazy, maybe a little bit emotional, all that kind of stuff. So she is interested. The house that she's got is in Belton, and been on the market about 42 days. And she would like a couple other agents to chime in, maybe just look at it online and give their feedback. She really would like to get it sold. And so if you would be interested in just taking a peek at her house, I've given her my thoughts, but I think she would love to hear from a few more of us, to make sure that I'm helping her correctly and showing her the path forward. But I would love that, if we could have other agents chime in. So let me know if you're interested. I'll send you the address. And okay, Lonnie, I figured you would. I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, what I was going to add is this, and I know that house, by the way.
Yeah.
When somebody brings that to me, and our agents do that a lot, like, hey, I have this listing I'm getting ready to take, or maybe I've taken it. What do you think? And I enjoy those conversations. You guys know that David and I worked on one yesterday, the day before. So it's really my passion is that pricing piece. But I think what we have to, in those situations, what would serve us well, if somebody came to me, that agent comes to me and says, hey, I've got this listing in Belton, been in the market 40 days. What do you think? My first question is going to be, please show me, I can pull up the listing and look at the pictures. Show me the comps that you use to get to the price that you're currently at. And then also show me what's active, what's your competition, what's pending or in show for backup, so we can see who is having success with contracts, and then the recent sold. So, you put some information together. Sometimes it's a good idea to see, just out of curiosity, what's Zillow, what's Realtor.com, what's Redfin say about your digital valuation of your house. And sometimes the agent will go, yeah, but they don't know that the basement's finished. Okay, I get that. But do the legwork so the agent that you're asking to assist can kind of hit the easy button, okay? So if I see a property, and I don't remember the prices on that one, but if I see a property they have listed at 4.25, and all the data leads me to 375 to 395, my question might be, what takes us to 4.25? What is it about this house that drove you to 4.25, given the data you just shared with me? And it's usually something like, well, they have the coolest this. And then we find out, I don't know if Tom's on this call, but as he found out with his property, his really nice earth contact, he spent a little bit of time above the market, and now he's in the kill zone. So hopefully he'll have a contract. But anyway, give the agents as much information as possible, make their life really easy, and you'll get participation from agents across the board in our office.
Okay, sounds good. We'll do that. All right, we got 7 minutes left. Who else has got something you want to bring to the group? Everybody's doing great. I do have more questions. I can keep going.
Go.
All right. Here's my next question in the last, 7 minutes or so. We strive really hard. We work really hard to put forward a good calendar for you guys, to bring value, to bring, we put a lot of thought into our meetings, into our classes, into the variety of classes. I would love to hear, what do you guys want? I mean, we're doing what we think you want. We doing what we think you need, but we'd love to hear from you. What would you like from our office? And that doesn't have to just be classes. It could be social events. It could be like, hey, I want to hang out a little more. I want, I'm looking for this. What are you looking for in our market center? What would you like us to add or provide? Or what do you like that we are doing even?
I
Y'all are-
would, oh,
Go
it's
ahead,
Shelby.
Shelby.
Hey, I would absolutely love like a big, big Keller Williams sign that says agent on duty, because I want everybody that drives past us every single day to be like, oh, there's Keller Williams, there's Keller Williams. So I don't know if that's even a possibility because of the square footage between that and the road and the visibility requirements, but I just want everybody to know about us. So that's something that I would love to see.
Thank you, Shelby. Appreciate the input.
I would say, Shelby and I actually were talking about this the other day, and I said, even when I knew Jacob worked here, and I've been in this area since 1992, but I was like, where's that office again exactly? Like, I always had trouble finding this building because the way it's kind of nestled. And so I thought Shelby had a great idea about that. And there's that Remax one, I think it's in Belton, we determined, that's right on 58, and it says office, open, agent on duty, big Remax sign. I thought, well, heck, we should probably optimize the traffic on 58 too. And selfishly, because I'm signing up for as much board duty as possible. So I'm like, it'd be nice if there was like a big arrow pointing into the front office. But I thought Shelby had a good idea.
Yeah, what we can do there, there's some limitations on that. A couple things. First of all, walking customers in real estate offices don't happen like they used to. It's just because of technology, right? I mean, you have a lot of brokerages that are cyber. There is no office, right? So, but we are in a prime location. I think there's some things we can do to take advantage of that. We can't put anything up permanently. They won't permit it. All we could do is have like you know what an open house sign kind of looks like. That could say agent on duty, something like that. We would have had a massive KW sign with all of our tenants in the building on the highway, but the city of Raymore would only permit a sign that was going to be so small that you wouldn't even be able to read the Keller Williams and all that as cars go by at a high rate of speed. So it was a $20,000 thing. It's all wired out there and everything. But then they said they would give us a variance, and then they declined the variance. So just to give you an idea of how we got there. But no, I've always kind of thought that. Now the question is, if we get those signs made, whose responsibility is it to put them out and bring them back in, because they will not allow them to stay out there permanently. So I personally, if the board agent is there and that we have them right there in the front, they walk out to outside of Matt's office and put them out there. If they want to put one on the corner, that I think that's logical, actually. And that company that has agent on duty, there's never anybody there. So haven't quite figured out that there's never a light on. It's kind of interesting.
Sorry, Paul.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the one thing I've actually also considered is we do a lot of closings in our office because of Kofelt being in there. And honestly, I just don't love the whole setup of where we can take a picture. Like, there's no place if we take one where it says Keller Williams, you actually have office, like all the stuff. I would love to say that I always could be at the house with keys and confetti blowing, but I'm not. And I just would love if we had a specific place, like a banner or somewhere that we could stand so that we have Keller Williams really big. And if we want to add our own stuff to it, fine. But at least our backdrop is something worthy of posting instead of the backside of computers and things like that. So that would be if there's a way we could have a backdrop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I was going to say, if anybody wants to network for free, tomorrow morning, the Raymore Chamber has a coffee, which is open to a guest. And they do it I think second Friday of every month. It's at Ascend Townhomes in Raymore, 501 Don Street from 7:30 to 9. So, there's just a handful of us are actually members of the chamber. The office is, but you can be a member for less than $200 and meet all kinds of business owners, all kinds of vendor referrals, partners. Ryan can attest to the value of the chamber too. He's an officer, or has been an officer in the Belton one. Just a thought: free coffee. Talk with some other business owners tomorrow morning if you want. So
Awesome. Love that. All right, 1 minute. You guys have hung in there with me. One last chance for anybody to say something. If you have anything. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're here for you. If you need us, please call on us. That's why we are here. You've got me, you've got Caesar, we've got Lacey, and sometimes we've even got Lonnie, but we just try not to pull on him too much. But anyway, let us know how we can help you, how we can support you. Otherwise, guys, have a fantastic Thursday. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Brandy.
Thanks,
Bye,
Mickey.
guys.
Thanks, Mickey. Whoops.
You're welcome.